My name is Beryl Carmichael, commonly known as Auntie Beryl throughout the education arena, and my traditional name is Ngiyeempaa. I'm telling the story of how the new moon got in the sky. A long, long time ago, old uncle took his two little nephews out into the bush to teach them the tracking skills and the knowledge of the land and everything that was in it that they needed to know. So once they set up camp, old uncle asked his two little nephews to go with him, to go hunting for an emu. He said, we might have to go a long way, he said, but you two little fellows walk behind me, he said, and I'll walk ahead of you. He said, when I cut the track of the emu, I'll put my spear up and I want you to stop. He said, and I'll call you around to show you the fresh tracks. So right, the two little fellows followed old uncle, and when they found the track of the emu, old uncle stopped and he put his spear up, and the two little fellows stopped. And uncle said, come around here quickly, he said, going across this pad, he said, there's a fresh emu. He's just gone across. He's gone over to a clump of trees there where there's some water lying, and he's having a drink there. He said, now I'll wait on the path. He said, you two little fellows run right around the bushes and you scare the emu. Yell out, yucca out. He said, make a big noise. And the emu will run straight back past me and then I'll spear him. So two little fellows done what uncle told them. They raced around and frightened the emu, and he come tearing back across the path where uncle was. So uncle had his spear ready and he speared the emu. And two little fellows run up, and old uncle said, right, we got the emu now. He said, we got to tie his legs together. He said, I got a string. He said, we'll tie his legs together. We'll get a long pole and put him on a pole and we'll share it. I'll put a part of the pole on my shoulder and you two little fellows carry the back part. So two little boys done what uncle told them. They got the emu back to camp and then they had to prepare it for uncle. Uncle said, you clean all the feathers off while I go and dig the hole and light the fire to cook the emu. So two little fellows done everything uncle told them, and old uncle got the emu in the hole and covered it over, and because the emu take a long time to cook, 3 or 4 hours, old uncle said, I'm very tired, now I'll go and have a sleep. He said, you two boys go and play if you want to. He said, but when the sun sits on the horizon, he said, you sing out to me. He said, and I'll come out and take the emu out of the hole where you can have a feed. So two little boys raced off, and old uncle went to sleep in his camp, in his gunya. And after a while, two little fellows, they seen the sun getting lower and lower, sitting on top of the mountain. So they raced back and they got the emu out of the hole. But they didn't call uncle, see? But when they took the emu out of the hole, they got a feather from the emu that was wet and moist. And they took the feather back and they tried to wake old uncle up, but he was sound asleep. So they tied the feather on uncle's big toe. They said, we'll take the emu up the mountain and we'll start having a feed. So they did this, and after a while old uncle woke up, see? And there was no sound of the little fellows around the camp. So old uncle said, oh, there's something going on here. So he went over to where the emu was, and he could see all the juice dripping off the emu as the two little fellows carried the emu up to the mountain and took it up on the mountain. When old uncle got there, they were sitting on top of the mountain eating, having a feed. So they saw uncle come and they cut a nice big slice of juicy bit of meat off. And they held it up saying, they're saying, uncle, look at the nice big juicy meat we got for you. But old uncle said, you bring that emu down here, I'm too old, I can't climb the mountain. See, so he kept rousing on the boys as well and getting them to bring the emu back, but they wouldn't. So they slid a big pole down the mountain and asked uncle to climb up on that. But as old uncle was climbing up on the pole kept slipping over and old uncle fell and he landed on a jagged rock which broke his rib, his special rib. And anyway, two little fellows said, oh, we better run back to camp and get the old people to come out and help uncle. He's fallen down. But when they got down to where uncle was, he was dead. You know, he died. And so they raced back to camp and got the old people, and they roused on the two little boys for being naughty and disobeying old uncle. And they got back there and they said, he was a good uncle to you boys. He taught you how to make your spear, how to track, and they go hunting for the emu. He said, now you got to be punished. So we're taking you up on top of the mountain and we're going to punish us. But first of all, we're going to get old Uncle and take him up on the mountain and sing his spirit into the night sky so he can be another light for us. When the big moon go down, old Uncle's spirit will come up and be another light for us to show us the way. So they took old Uncle's body up and sung his spirit up into the sky. And then when the two little boys were punished, they too were sung up into the night sky. They said, because this will be a reminder about how you two little fellows disobeyed your old uncle. You'll all be up there together in the night sky for us. So that's how the new moon came to be in the sky, and the two little boys, his two little nephews, are not far away from him, because they were on the mountain when he died. So that's the story of our old Ngiyeempaa and Karika, two little nephews, come to be in the night sky for us.
Thanks, Auntie Beryl. That was really special.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Run that,